Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Bentong, Kajara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I'll continue sharing from the book by my guru, His Eminence, the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. And this is the book that I'll be reading from, Compassion Conquers All, Teachings on the 8 Verses of Mind Transformation, Sam Rinpoche. So the previous session I've read and shared from the introduction together with the foreword, and now I will actually go into the part 1, which is renunciation, giving up selfish concerns, and it will start on page 27. So before that, I will go to a picture of the Buddha where you can actually enjoy this picture and see the peacefulness of it while I'm doing the reading. Right, so it's part 1, renunciation, giving up selfish concerns. Page 27, motivation, the 8 worldly concerns. When we do any kind of Dharma activities, lighting incense, making prostrations, making offerings, offering flowers, giving donations to the temple, giving dana to monks, sweeping the temple, driving or buying supplies for the temple, being committee members for the temple, meditation, chanting, anything, it should be free from the 8 worldly concerns or the 8 worldly dharmas. Dharma means conduct, so Buddha Dharma is correct conduct, conduct that leads to awakening. The 8 worldly concerns are to be happy when we are praised, to be unhappy when we are insulted, to be happy if we receive any gifts, to be unhappy if we don't, to be happy upon achieving reputation, to be unhappy when we are unsuccessful, to be happy when we are comfortable, to be unhappy when we are not. We should not be practicing the Dharma for these reasons at all. It will be better to memorize those 8 worldly concerns than 100 tantric practices. And I am not trying to blow your mind away, but yes, if you know the mantras and practices and all the initiations of 100 tantric deities, but you are practicing with the 8 worldly concerns, you will not achieve even 1 tantric results of 1 tantric deity. So we should memorize the 8 worldly concerns and check over and over and over again if we are free from them. And if we are not, we must work on it immediately. We must get over it. We must practice. And we must immediately get to the point, because time is short and time is running out. So any Dharma action should be free of those 8 worldly concerns. If our Dharma is preoccupied with them, there are many disadvantages. When we do actions with the 8 worldly concerns, the act will lead to rebirth in the lower realms, and future lives will be also spent with uncontrolled attachments like now. The results of uncontrolled delusions, attachments, and negative states of mind now are a sign that they have not been controlled in the past. If they were not controlled in the past, the result is that we have not gotten it under control at this time. If it is not gotten under control at this time, it can only get worse, not better. So future lives will also be spent with uncontrolled attachments. One cannot even enter the Mahayana path. One cannot reach liberation. If you do not have any Dharma actions with the 8 if you do any Dharma actions with the 8 worldly concerns, whatever practices that you do, you will not gain liberation. One will constantly experience hindrances in one's meditational practices. Hindrances of laziness, sleepiness, procrastination, doubt, and instability. That is the inner level. The outer level is financial problems, time constrictions, responsibilities, and so on. So when we practice Dharma in a way that the motive is not free from the 8 worldly concerns, then the results, of course, will not be positive. While we are practicing, we will experience many inner and outer obstacles, and there will be no fruition of our practice. except planting seeds for our future lives. The practice then becomes only a service to the 8 worldly concerns. What happens when you practice the Dharma with any of the 8 worldly concerns is that it actually feeds the 8 worldly concerns. How is that? You might practice the Dharma so that you will be praised. Yet the point of practicing the Dharma is not to be praised and not to be recognized. The point of practicing the Dharma is to reach liberation. So if you help a Dharma center or you meditate wonderfully when people are around, yet when no one is around you pick your teeth, then you are not practicing the Dharma with a correct motive. So when our friends are around, we raise our eyebrows. The whites of our eyes are there. We have great meditation experiences. We see lights, our hair goes up and our tears comes down. But if the minute our friends disappear, we go out for a coffee break. We think we are practicing Dharma for praise. I think we are practicing Dharma for praise. If you are practicing Dharma for praise, the very practice of Dharma leads to wanting more praise, increasing of the big ego, therefore leading you to the 3 lower realms. You may think, hey, how can practicing the Dharma leads us to the 3 lower realms? Practicing the Dharma doesn't lead you to the 3 lower realms. Your negative intent before the action leads you to the 3 lower realms. You could sweep out an old folks' home with a good motivation. May this act benefit others. That act will lead you to Buddhahood. You can sit in front of Jai Tsongkhapa and meditate for 5 hours and meditate on the US dollar and meditate on your finances move up, and that you can get some wealth fast, some wealth mantras, some wealth pujas, and that you will pass on everything to make it on Sunday for the wealth prayers. Then, if you meditate for 5 hours in front of Jai Tsongkhapa, you are meditating for material gain. Meditation doesn't mean fulfillment of your worldly wishes. Meditation and practice is for enlightenment. Therefore, when we do practice for the reasons of getting praise, how can we label that Dharma practice? That is definitely not Dharma practice. In fact, that very motive makes the act result in the fruition of more negative karma. So when we start practicing Dharma, instead of our wish to get praise decreasing, it increases. The more we go to a Dharma talk, the more we know, the more empowerments, the more teachings, the more knowledgeable, the more scholarly we become, the more advanced we do it, the more we chant, the more we can teach. Then the bigger ego, the bigger our pride, the bigger our arrogance, everything becomes bigger. And the whole point of learning Dharma is to decrease those points and to in fact annihilate or destroy those points. So when you practice Dharma with a wrong motive from the beginning, it is not the Dharma teacher or the Dharma environment that is at fault. It could be your ignorance at fault, or it could be that you know it and you have not applied the antidotes hard enough. It is definitely not the Dharma. I always use the example that if you do not know how to drive a car and the car has a little accident, it is not the fault of the car but the driver. So if you do not get the results from your Dharma practice, it is definitely not the Dharma. It is definitely not the Dharma teacher. It is definitely not the Dharma itself. It is not the center, and it is not the Dharma students. It is you yourself. Because if Dharma has no results, our altars should be empty. There should be no enlightened beings. So we would be prostrating to empty things. And there would be no living enlightened masters today. Such His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness the Great Karmapa, His Holiness Shakatrin Zin, His Holiness Dugyom Rinpoche, His Holiness Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, and His Holiness the Great Ganden Tree Rinpoche. There would be no any enlightened masters around. like my master, His Eminence, the great Khenso Rinpoche, they would not be around. And there are living beings, but there are living beings around that are enlightened and highly realized and extremely beneficial for others. The great Chinese Mahayana master, the nun Reverend Cheng Yen in Taiwan, definitely she's a master of practice. She's doing a lot more than I can ever do. She may be advanced in her practice to be able to do that. So there are living examples around us of people who are practicing and practicing correctly. Therefore, why we are not getting those results? We must point the finger back at ourselves, not at the Buddhas, the Dharma, the temple. Oh, I couldn't listen because it was so hot and I'm sweating. It is not my fault. Or the Dharma teacher, or the Dharma text, or the Sangha. We must go back to the source. If the Dharma or the Dharma teacher or the Buddhas were at fault, as I said, the altars should be empty. But because there are living representations of the result of correct Dharma practice, the Dharma must be correct, and we ourselves must be at fault. But we should not be despondent or depressed. If we are at fault, the fault is impermanent, dependent on conditions. Therefore, we can change the conditions and bring an end to the wrong practice and start on the right practice. So when we do Dharma practice to get praise or to avoid insults, that is a very low aim. And the minute we don't get praise, we stop doing Dharma practice. So the fault is not Dharma, it's the motive. If we do Dharma practice to get gifts, to avoid not getting gifts, to get ang paos, red color envelopes containing money, which are traditional use in Chinese customs, as gifts or presented to the lamas or sangha as a sign of respect. That is what the ang pao is. And all that, the minute we don't get it, we get upset. Again, it is not the Dharma, it is our motive. If we do Dharma for good reputation, oh, he is so good, he is so holy, he is such a good person, he's a family person, he also goes to the temple and he's so wonderful. The minute we stop getting praise, we suffer, we feel despondent, we don't want to meditate, we don't want to practice, we don't want to join the temple, we don't want to listen to the Dharma, we don't want to meditate, and we become despondent. Why? Why do we become despondent? Not because we have not gotten the results, but the actual reason is the very motive that we started with out of ignorance was wrong. So the Dharma is not at fault. Then we wish to get Dharma to receive some material gains, success. So we go to the temple to listen, hoping it will change our luck. We go in front of the altar, kowtow to change our luck. We make offerings to change our luck. We listen to the Dharma and recite lots of mantra. We go to empowerments to receive great blessings to change our luck, so that we can hit the lucky number. Our economic situation moves up and we can get rich. I get a lot of this question from people. I've been chanting and praying, why isn't my business moving up? Because the very reason you are chanting and praying is not for your business to move up. So you should be chanting and praying regardless of whether your business moves up or not. Otherwise, the minute your business doesn't move up economically, you go down. Of course, it is a normal human reaction that you feel sad and unhappy, but that is when you should actually increase your Dharma practice and increase your Dharma energy. You should take advantage of the situation. If we practice the Dharma to move our economic situation up, that our company moves up, we can make more money, our stocks goes up, whatever. And if that doesn't happen, we become despondent. We have used the Dharma for a short-term benefit, and we don't derive the ultimate benefit from Dharma, which is complete freedom from suffering, not just business moving up. When we practice Dharma, when we see lamas get divinations, get blessings, do rituals and sponsor pujas for the sake of simply receiving wealth, increasing our wealth as an end in itself, then the Dharma has been brought down to a very low level and the full purpose of the Dharma is not fulfilled. So we should not practice Dharma with the intent that it will move our economic situation up or to avoid the economic situation from going down. If we do that, our rebirth will be in the spirit realm. So whether we practice Dharma or not, if we are always miserly and selfish, always concerned about money, we will do anything for money. Your rebirth will be the spirit realm anyway. But if you practice the Dharma, you have a chance to purify the karma. So it will be better to be a Dharma practitioner who is greedy and miserly and worldly about money than a non-Dharma one. Because whether you are a Dharma practitioner or not, you still have the same faults. So it would be better to have the faults and Dharma, and there is a chance that you may not take rebirth as a spirit, and if you do, the time is less. The duration of that rebirth is less. Whether you practice the Dharma or not, or you don't practice the Dharma, your problems are exactly the same. If you look deeply, whether you practice the Dharma or not, your situation, your problems arise from karma, not Dharma. They do not arise from your relationship with Dharma. So therefore, whether you practice the Dharma or not, you have the same problems. And with Dharma, if you practice correctly, it becomes a temporary remedy to help you get over your problems, and also gives you ultimate methods to get over your problems. How much effort you put into the practice is how much result you will get. So we should practice the Dharma without any of these 8 worldly concerns. It is very important. Then we should not practice the Dharma simply when we are comfortable, when everything is going right, when everything is going comfortable, when money is okay and family is okay, when there is harmony. The minute one of these goes out of balance, we stop the practice. If we are going to stop the practice because of that, we might as well not even begin, because those things will happen anyway. Why? We are in samsara. We have been in samsara for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, and we have created the karmic causes and dispositions for disharmony, for financial problems, for difficulties to arise. But it is out of fear and knowing that those difficulties will arise that we must look for a method. What more superior method than to destroy the roots of those karma before they bear fruit? By Dharma practice. If we practice Dharma sincerely, we will definitely get the results. The first step is motivation, and our motivation should be based upon the guidelines of the 8 worldly concerns. It should be free of those 8 worldly concerns from the very start, and don't be so more despondent, thinking, well, what about all the things that I've done? What about all the dana that I've given? What about the pujas? What about the prayers, the meditations, the offerings on my altars? There is benefit, but it would be even greater and more efficacious if it was done free of the 8 worldly concerns. Antidotes to free ourselves from the 8 worldly concerns are basic guidelines for us to follow to reshape and recondition our conditioning. They are guidelines, not restrictions. Some of us think, oh, Dharma is so complicated. There are so many restrictions. There are so many minute details. Yes, there are, because we are complicated. We are full of minute details. So if the Dharma is an antidote to this, then the antidote will match the problem. For example, when we go to school, there are examinations, requirements, and points that we need. We need to get there on time, do our homework, and so on. It's years and years and years of restrictions and requirements, and that is so difficult. That is quite difficult. But when we finish school, the actual regimentation, requirements, and regulations we follow lead to freedom. What freedom? When you get your degree, you can get whatever job you want. You pick what you want to do. It's the same in Dharma. It's like school. When you follow the Dharma correctly, you follow its regulations and rules. These restraints lead to total freedom in the future. So we shouldn't think of Dharma as a prison wall. We should think of it as a very kind guidelines given by an enlightened being to help us follow our path, and it will bring immediate results. It will bring immediate results, but the motive must be correct. If one follows the 8 worldly concerns, one is no better than an animal, because an animal wishes to be praised, receive food, receive good reputation. The males fight with each other to get the best females. They wish to be very comfortable. They wish not to be unhappy. It's the same. What's the difference between us and the animals? Except that we do things in a more sophisticated manner. So we must think that if we practice Dharma, or if we live our lives with the 8 worldly concerns, we are the same as animals, although we are not. And because we are higher and better than animals, we should have a motivation that is much better. And so, with that, I will end my sharing session for now. And I do hope that you will contemplate on what I've just shared, and that we should always have good motivation in doing our Dharma work, and to be always free from the 8 worldly concerns, which is either to be happy or either to be sad. Both situations will create sufferings for us in our minds, because nothing is permanent, and we will always try to hold on to having happiness, which will create the suffering, or else we will keep thinking that suffering is forever, which it is not. It is also impermanent. So neither situation is what we want to be in. We should be free of that to be to gain that peace of mind. And with that, I would like to share some events that will be taking place in Kechara Forest Retreat, and that is the Ulambana, which will be taking place on Saturday, 10th of August 2019. The event will start from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Kechara Forest Retreat. At 9 a.m., it will start with the opening speech and Dharma sharing. At 9:30 a.m., the Grand Ulambana Genze Puja, which is for good fortune, long life, and to gain merits. At 12:15 p.m., there will be free vegetarian lunch. At 2 p.m., there will be the Grand Ulambana Trakze Puja for protection and blessings. At 5 p.m., the event ends. And there are several packages that you are able to sponsor according to your budget and what you wish to dedicate for. These merits can be dedicated to your dearly departed ones, and also for gratefulness to those who are around you. The packages starts from $20 and it goes up to the grand sponsor of $6,888. And all the merits that you have, you could actually dedicate to others, that they may have a better life and they have less suffering. And so this will take place at Kechara Forest Retreat, and you are able to call these two numbers for further enquiries at 609-221-5600 or 703-3908, or you can actually send a WhatsApp message to 6012-987-3908, or leave a message at care@kechara.com when you will get your replies. Or also you can visit our website at vrajasecrets.com, where you can actually go online to do your sponsorship wherever that you may be, whether you're out of state, not free to actually come physically to the place to pay for the sponsorship, or maybe you're traveling overseas or you live overseas. So you can do it online, and the prayers will be carried out and the dedications will be according to what you wish. And so I do hope that you will make time to spend to join us for the event on the 10th of August. And if not, do visit our website vrajasecrets.com and sponsor to gain merits for dedication. The next event that we have will be on 3rd of August, Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., which is the Spiritual Saturday. And this event will take place from 9 a.m. where you will help to write the Ulambana tablets and mantra stones. At 11 a.m. that's the introductory Feldenkrais for beginners, and at 12:30 p.m. there's lunch. So if you're interested, please RSVP your place for and also for your meal by contacting at 6017-965-9484 through WhatsApp message, or you can email to retreat@kachara.com. If you're not able to join us for the 3rd of August, there are other activities, future activities within August that you are able to join. You can visit this bit.ly/2 capital Z 5L capital D 5K, and there are the events listed there, which I do hope that you'll find time to join and visit us at Kachara Forest Retreat. It's a very holy place with lots and lots of beautiful statues for blessings, and especially to do your prayers and requests with a good aspiration that you'll be able to progress on your spiritual path. So that's for today, and I wish to end the session with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjub Senchu Rinpoche, Mage Panam Ge Yushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Gone Gondo Pewashu, Tony Toa Rinpoche, Mage Panam Ge Yushi, Ge Panam Pame Payang, Gone Gondo Pewashu, Dasno Jini Sapage Wadi, Tanandro Aguna Padang, Jepa Jesun Los Antropai, Tamping Porindusa, Se Sho, Ge Wakuntu Yandala Madan, Drami Choki Palano Chochi, Sadam Langi Yote Razone, Doji Changi Ngapangatusu, Ge Wadi, Yududa, Lama Sangyo Driyone, Drewachika Malupa, De Salago Pashu, Joki Kapusungapa, Josuna Papewala, Geki Samasiwadang, Junki Malu Sangwashu, Dadam Sangi Dusunda, Drewa Sangi Latene, Gewa Losantrapai, Tampayu Riva, Yushi. Ni modele sendele, ni mingunyandele shi, ni sentato dele pa, kunju sungi jingilo, kunju sungi ngodroso, kunju sungi trasi, sho, jeso nama kusen rap tingching, nam country ni chochu ke padang, lo sam tempe dro me sap sungi, dro e munsa tato ni yushi, gawe rawe ko wishin kamde, penande o malu yo ne, charan sik wan ten sing get soi, shape shi de badu deng yushi. Home tompe ngodro malupa, den de dala sel du so, koda den palong chok nam, ke paso shik shuk den sel. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I do hope that you will share your time with me for my next session, and as I continue sharing from the book by my guru. Thank you.